I wouldn't say profitable profession, but it's a good subspecialty, not only for practicing, but also for doing translational research. GWAS has played an important role in the past. To me, I think a rare genetic disease, there seems to be interest in this area. But in order to, because it's the low frequency, in order to make significant progress, we need to have a consortium to collect a lot of patients. But in order to have this kind of system set up, we need to organize well. So in Taiwan, I'm very happy to share with you, we have the partners from the patient advocate and also from the professional society. So that's some kind of summary for this afternoon. So the last section before closing is discussion on the floor. So I would like to stimulate and to activate the audience a little bit, okay? That's my job as a chairperson. So I was ask your permission and say we're going to conduct the discussion on the floor, or maybe you can comment first in English. Then I will ask two questions. What does precision medicine to you mean to you? What do you learn from learning health system? That's the two questions. Okay. Maybe I ask both of you the first question, since, or maybe I ask Mark about learning health system, and ask Alan about precision medicine. What does it mean to your work and your research? So, Mark first. Then either way.
Okay, so sure, thank you, Peter. So your question is, what is precision medicine from our perspective?
Yes.
What we're doing? Yeah. So first of all, it's a hard question because I think we hear the term, but many people have different ideas about what this is all about. Maybe that's why you're asking the question. But I think at the University of Michigan we have something that is being put together, a Precision Medicine Initiative. And the idea will be essentially to find ways to apply individual data about one's genes to their care. And that's just a basic foundation underlying this. So the pharmacogenetic, genomic kind of case is where we're starting actually as well. And I think probably because, again, it goes back to my comments earlier, you have to have some actionable knowledge to work on. So to your point about the current state of rheumatology, until we understand more, we don't quite know what is that actionable knowledge. We don't understand yet how to choose the treatment that is best for the patient. So I think we're gravitating to the case where we know enough to begin to enact that and kind of go from there. I think it also makes us not very unique in the sense that this is what others are doing as well.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Mark, what's your comment on learning health system, and what have you learned about learning health system?
So a learning health system, to me, after listening to Alan this morning, is structuring your medical record in a way, or your data collection from your patients in a way in which whatever you do for your patient, the next patient that you see, you've learned from that, and so that you're ultimately driving to better care. And maybe precision medicine is the buzz term that we're using today to get us there as the use case for it, but it's going to continue to happen as we generate more and more data. There are going to be lessons to be learned, and they're going to be lost if you don't structure it, at least from today, in a system that is a learning health system.
Thank you. Before we go turn into the Chinese Mandarin mode, any comment or question with regard to this main topic? Maybe three topics. I would add international cooperation. Okay, that's also important issues. Okay, so is there any audience would like to speak and ask questions about learning health system, precision medicine, and international project collaboration. If not, we're turning to Mandarin mode now. Okay, so that is turned out to be a bigger audience than I had thought, or than our colleagues had thought. Okay, so I think we have a good meeting. I don't want to work too hard. Today, I think 6 lectures per day is just the right amount. Okay. 我想我们今天早上跟下午各有3个讨论。那早上2位他们都是 PharmD 的背景，就是美国的药师，他们也是比较专业的训练，就跟我们以前药学系是不太一样。那他们在不同的领域，在这个 IT 的领域，还有 pharmacogenomic 的领域。那我想很多不同的朋友，新的朋友参加，也很多是业界的朋友，from industry， 所以也是不是请业界的朋友先，因为我们那个旗舰计划很重要的一环是说能够带动产业。Alan 也问我一个问题，说我们假如有成立新的公司，在这样子的科技还有的条件下，哪一些产品或是哪一些服务会是有未来发展的前景？我想先从产业界，那也有那个算是政府 ，OK， 卫福部的 CDE 的朋友，科技组的朋友，我们用国语讲比较容易，而且 Nelson 也都听得懂，所以那是不是有业界的朋友要提出你们的看法？有吗？在吗？能不能跟我们分享你的想法？蔡玉君不在是吧？老板不在。
不好意思，我是创研生技李宗柏。那
先介绍一下你的背景，你目前的工作。那你为什么今天报名？谢谢您来，当然我们谢谢您来参加。那你分享一下今天的一些心得。
大家好，我是创研生技李宗柏。那我过去的背景其实是利用 NGS 的 technology， 然后再看 stem cell 跟 cancer cell 它在 DNA methylation 上面的变化。然后还有 chip sequencing， 就是很 basic research。那在加入业界之后，因为这是我去年8月加入，所以刚刚想说不太适合在这个地方发言，因为还是个业界新鲜人。那因为过去的背景，我们就是一直是很 focus 在 research 上。那现在在业界，我们公司主要是从 prenatal genetic testing， 比方说是 NIPT 或者是在IVF Center 的PGS 开始，那一直跨足到儿科，还有在companion diagnosis， 比如说跟诺华的 autoinflammatory disease 的这种gene panel， 或者是现在在必治妥的HCV 的这个药物上。那 learning healthy system 其实是应该是我们的蔡玉君才是专家。那我就一个 genetic testing 的这个角度，在第一次听到这个 learning healthy system 的时候，我的感觉是，这其实是一个就是我自己从早上的这个talk 到现在的感觉是，其实这个计划在台湾要推广要成功，真的是需要从学界、政府，然后带领着业界去做。为什么这样讲？就是因为我觉得从前端的 data 的分析的收集，然后 sequencing 之后得到这些 information， 确实我们在业界可能会面临到一个问题是，我们也不会得到全部的，我们只会得到部分的数据这样子。那这边如果可以是从政府这边统一，然后把它像一个它会帮我 back 的这种概念的话，那接下来就是在这个 learning system 上面，那我觉得从我们检测的观点上来看的话，我们会认为我们可以 involve 的其实是除了在 genetic testing 本身的这个发展上，在下游的这个跟从病人开始的这个 app， 就是或许我们可以得到从这个观点里面去，就是应该 不好意思，我讲有点乱，就是说，应该是说，在刚刚听到整个的这个概念，都是从医院端从病例的收集之后，然后可能用药的分析什么之类，可是它缺乏一个是从病人他怎么去 feedback 给这个 learning healthy system， 那或许这一块是我们可以involve在其中的。
Yeah, I like your idea, and it's very interesting, and it's coincide with the conversation I had with Mark during coffee break or lunchtime. So I will translate that into English for Ellen and Mark. She talked about one potential. I asked, she's from industry background, so Ellen has a question about what are the business and industry potential for this kind of basically academia-driven project. So she suggests we talk about from the hospital end, from the government, from the provider's point of view. From a consumer point of view, she mentioned about app and how they contribute to this big knowledge. So Ellen and Mark, can you comment on this? Precision medicine and learning health system from a patient's point of view, and could we come up with an app they can sort of participate and learning and engage with these systems?
I'll start. So we can come up with lots of apps, I think, and but the question will be what will be effective and helpful. One thing that I think is really important, and I appreciate the focus on the patient and the patient engagement here. We need to bring our communities along. This is one of the focal areas of the learning health system, is that the community. And by that I don't just mean the academic community or the medical community, but I mean the people who are ultimately enrolled in participating and supporting the system, who live in our communities and use the health system. All of us need to have mechanisms to understand what this learning health system is all about, how they participate. And so I looked to some models from other universities that have started to do precision medicine, and they do a lot of community-based education. They do outreach, and so apps might be one way to help explain why this is important and how we can ultimately avoid some of the disastrous adverse drug effects, these types of things. The story that you had in your slides this morning, these types of things. So I think this is critical, and if we don't bring the community along, we will not be successful. So this is now how to do that is going to vary in many different ways. So what we see, what we're doing, we see now we have a patient and family-centered care office in the university, and we have patient advocacy groups. And we bring patient advocacy groups into our project teams, patient advocates, and we have people who are guiding us, asking the questions to help us remain relevant to the patient. So I would be cautious about thinking about tools and apps and actually listening and asking what will be most helpful in any given community to begin to share the story. I think that's where we are.
So we've talked about individualized medicine, personalized medicine, precision medicine. Another term that gets thrown around quite often is 4P medicine. And I have to apologize, I don't remember where all the P's are, but one of them is participatory, meaning you're engaging the patient in their care. So maybe that is through an app or something like that. For the North Shore system, because we're having patients pay for this out of pocket, we have to give it to them because they're owners of it. And if we can give it to them in a way in which they're empowered to use it and understand it, they can avoid some of the adverse events and derive more value from that. If you remember from my presentation, for the key players, patients were the only ones that you had to get their buy-in, and they had to be a part of it to make it work. Of all of the people that were involved, they were the only ones that were in both groups. So figuring out how to deliver this to patients in a way in which it's not data, but knowledge, meaning it's actionable and you can do something with it, is going to be incredibly important, as well as using them to generate more data. As we have learning health systems and we have algorithms to use, the more data we can have to power those algorithms, the better, as long as it's high quality data, right? Junk in, junk out. So you have to be a little cautious about it. But engaging patients as we move forward, especially in the United States, and we have more of a consumer-driven healthcare model, is incredibly important. So I'm excited to see how we do it in the future.
So we also have the 我们也有那个来自卫生福利部的朋友，那个 so we have a government people working in the government agency, Ministry of Health and Welfare, particularly with CDE Center for Drug Evaluation. 我们请那个陈嘉玲。 你们跟我们分享一下，你们今天来的哪一些同仁 ？OK， 先介绍一下，财团法人医药品查验中心。我知道，我们也论坛也跟你们有所互动，你们有一个 HTA Health Technology Assessment， 所以你们为什么会对今天的这个主题有留意？ 那你们的工作的执掌是什么？那这个 Learning Health System 还有 Precision Medicine， 甚至国际合作，对你们的想法，我想也请你们发表一下你们的看法。嘉玲，
大家好。I don't know if I have to talk in English or I have to talk in Chinese.
Any language, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
no Cantonese.
Or maybe Spanish. Okay. So 我先用中文讲好了。那我们我是 CDE， 然后就是药品查验中心的。那其实我们不是我们是第三方啦，那不是直接卫福部的人员这样子。那我们这边做的呢 ，HTA 这边就是 Health Technology Assessment。 那在这边的时候呢，我们就是评估新药、新科技，还有就是new medical services 这些部分的一些东西。那只要纳入健保这些东西，其实都跟我们比较有关系。那对我们来讲，这个 precision medicine， 这对我来说啦，哈，我自己的个人的想法是说，我们有这个 tool， 像这种这种是对我们来讲是一个 genomic 的一个这个东西，对我们来讲是一个 tool， 可以帮助我们在治疗、选择治疗，或者说在预见这些病人对于这相关的这个预后的影响。那必须要讲一下说，这个其实也跟我们现在的想法，跟我们的 Health Technology Assessment 这边其实是符合的。虽然我们不是在这个基础医学这一部分，但是在后面的治疗上。 其实是有一些部分的，因为尤其是像刚刚大家提到的病人的意见的纳入，那在其他的国家的部分呢，其实他们是都有把病人的意见是纳入在这个 HTA 的报告里面。那我们的现在也在努力往这个方向中。那我们也希望说我们的报告里面也能呈现这些 precision 的这些部分，然后让大家，就是说让我们的长官们他们有更好的那个选择这样子。
Okay, Elena, right?
Yeah. Right.
Thank you very much for your comment. Okay. I know she can speak very good English. She worked for Center for Drug Evaluation. So maybe I have a question for you. And Mark and I both are talking about the possibility. Right now, the genetic test for Stevens-Johnson syndrome is paid by about 健保给付 right? For if my understanding is correct, right? What would it take to incorporate a test like a pharmacogenomic test is currently practicing in notional healthcare system。就我们假如要弄一个比较 general 的 pharmacogenomic 的一个 test， 要如何，假如要并入，要变成健保给付的一个项目，那必须要通过怎么样的审核，才能够变成健保给付。I'm asking what kind of procedure has gone through and what are the tests or clinical trial before the pharmacogenomic test that can be incorporated to and then reimbursed by our healthcare system.
对 Steven Johnson 我可能比较不熟。
Yeah, maybe you can speak in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about Steven Johnson, but I can tell, for example, if we have not right now just passed that we have certain person with hepatitis C that they can use the new drugs. For that kind of drug, for now, we are thinking about, because we have in Taiwan we have two predominant genotypes, genotype A and B. In that kind, this is in the first time we have passed through to pay for treatment to genotype A. But this kind of drug, they have some resistance. If this patient had, for example, the specific genotype NS5A, NS5A. So they have to test that before to make sure that the treatment it will be helped. So I think that is the way that the precision medicine, for example, or the genomic testing, it will be helped in that case. But how to add them? We have to we make our choices by collecting evidence. We have to make our directors to know that this is a strong evidence that everyone, for example, that is an example. For example, you have to test this kind of genomic to know that the treatment it will work for you. So I think the same way it will be perfect for Steven Johnson, for example, or for other disease. If we know by fact or by evidence that this kind of genomic it will help us to make the perfect choice for our patient.
Yeah, thank you, Elena. Yeah, remember when we talk when I introduced the PMI in U.S. at the bottom is a regulator. The U.S. government spend money on regulatory issues for FDA. So I think there's been a lot of discussion about how the equivalent of TFDA and also maybe your agency need to be prepared for the future development along the line. Okay, so that's also a very important issue, and it's important for promoting the development of biotech industry in Taiwan. Okay. So 最后一个好 I think the last category I would invite people, I don't know who volunteer are the researcher, students, postdoc. Okay, 我想有没有是做 PI 的，做研究者，我说在大学或者是医院，或者是研究生助理，博士后研究员，我想听听你们的看法。今天我们上了，不是上课了，我们听了，蛮新的这个一个领域，早上还有下午，我想看大家对这一方面的想法，是不是有人volunteer 要发表你的看法？不用客气，中文英文都可以说。没有吗 ？No volunteer. Okay. So I run random pick. Random pick is not good. Okay. 然后没有，那我想时间也差不多了， So I think time is up for me to conclude this workshop. First of all, thank all the speakers for coming from US, from Hong Kong to Pacific. We want to make it international. I think the global networking is very important. Okay, we have been benefit from my friends from Japan, and then I got to know Chuck, and then other people from North Shore. Okay, and also I would like to reactivate my connection with Boston. So in our flagship design, which when we applied for this flagship program, we thought about precision medicine learning health system. That came out as a result of the 2 years incubation of this international collaboration. I have traveled to Minnesota and Michigan and Illinois for the continuous 2 years, and that has benefited us a lot. Okay. So international networking collaboration, we would sponsor this program both ways. So we had Ed coming here, we visited North Shore last year, and maybe we'll have some activity interchange with Boston. Boston is a fun city and a technology hub. Okay, so that's one way to support, and also with other Asia Pacific countries, Hong Kong, in particular, Nelson's connection is very important to us. That's number one. I feel strongly about education and patient engagement. Okay, so in my presentation, I have motivated the Taiwan Human Genetics Society. So the society, the new secretary and the new president will participate. They will offer the selection criteria, case selection for the rare disease. On top, the Taiwan Rare Disease Foundation, they will also contribute not only financially, they will chip in research money to this project. They also will support the social support. Once they got diagnosed as a rare disease, they will provide all the procedure and get through this application of open drug and other social benefits. Okay, so that's very important to share and to support those rare disease. One thing came out from my idea of the experience with Dr. Ken. I think it's relevant. I think it's worth thinking about. Is there any instance, say about 1%, adverse drug reaction? The gene hasn't been found yet, but the phenotype is so severe. Maybe it's possible if we can have some kind of collaboration efforts to collect these patients. It should be able to find the gene, and if we find the gene, the disease condition become predictive, preventable. Those are the other 2 P. Okay, very important in the future practice of medicine. That's one area I would definitely put much efforts on that. Training of future talent. Okay. So in this flagship program, I had asked Fan Mingji Jiao to help recruit and train not only the graduate students to learn about learning health system, precision medicine, and also to invite professors, assistant professors who don't have students to teach. Because we're now running South Zihua, that's our population. The student entering university or college is getting smaller and smaller, so that, and also funding difficulty. So these well-trained professional doctors, junior faculty, if they are interested in this area, so we will provide an opportunity as a team. So the professor, assistant, junior faculty can bring his undergraduate students to do project with this flagship program. So training of the future talent that will fit into the demand of the many person that is required for the practicing of precision medicine, in particular counselor and people who can communicate and deliver the knowledge through electronic or person-to-person interface. These are key elements that probably will pay well in the future. Okay. Those are the outlook for precision medicine from my point of view. That said, I think time is up. I would like to say thank you to the sponsor organization beside NHI Forum. We are the organizer. This is the third workshop we have organized. Thanks to our funding agency, Ministry of Health and Welfare. There are 2 representatives from MOHW. Also, Taipei Medical University is a long-term support for pharmacogenomic and learning health system. We look forward to working with not only the government agency, Taipei Medical University, and other medical centers as well. Last but not least, the colleagues of NHI Forum,彭慧珍小姐, she deserves most of the effort. Okay, she has been communicating with the speakers and the visitors and also the registration. We look forward to working with you, all of you from industry, from hospitals and university. I think there is tons of opportunity for us to make it beneficial to the people of Taiwan. So with that, I will conclude this meeting and thank you again. 谢谢大家。